like and subscribe our channel.
Atom has 4 electrons in its valence structure of diamond, lonsdaleite, and graphite. Carbon atom has 4 electrons in its valence shell, and it can undergo sp3 hybridization to form sp3 orbitals, which arrange itself in a tetrahedral arrangement, as shown in the frame. Carbon has a unique property of catenation, that is, to attach itself with other carbon atoms. By doing so, it can form a large network of atoms which are joined together by covalent bonds throughout the crystal, thus forming a three-dimensional network of a giant structure. Diamond is an allotrope of carbon in which carbon atom is sp3 hybridized, and it has a network structure consisting of large number of carbon atoms bonded to each other. It can be seen in the animation that each carbon atom is bonded to 4 other carbon atoms by single covalent bonds. Each carbon atom lies at the center of a tetrahedron, and other 4 carbon atoms are present at the corners of tetrahedron. The distance between 2 carbon atoms attached to carbon atoms in 2 tetrahedrons is 154 picometers. There is a three-dimensional network of carbon atoms bonded by strong covalent bonds, thus making diamond an extremely hard crystal with a very high melting point. Lonsdaleite is also known as hexagonal diamond, owing to the similarity in its crystal structure of carbon, in which carbon atoms are sp2 hybridized, and each carbon atom is covalently bound to 3 other carbon atoms by single bonds, forming a layer of carbon atoms consisting of hexagonal rings. These layers are stacked upon one another, and they are attached to each other by van der Waals forces of attraction. The distance between carbon atoms of hexagonal layers is 340 picometers, and internuclear lattice. The crystalline solids have definite three-dimensional arrangement of constituent particles, atoms, ions, or molecules. The main characteristics of crystalline solids is a definite regular and repeating pattern of constituent particles. If the three-dimensional arrangement of constituent particles in a crystal is represented diagrammatically by depicting each particle by a point, the arrangement is called crystal lattice or space lattice. Thus, a crystal lattice is a regular arrangement of the constituent particles, atoms, ions, or molecules of a crystalline solid in three-dimensional space. A three-dimensional crystal lattice is shown here. If we carefully look at a crystal lattice, it is observed that we can select a group of lattice points, a smallest three-dimensional portion which is repeated over and over again in the whole crystal lattice. This smallest repeating pattern or motif is called the unit cell. Thus, a unit cell may be defined as the smallest three-dimensional repeating portion of a space lattice, which when repeated over and over again in different directions produces the complete crystal lattice. This smallest repeating pattern, or unit cell, represents the shape of the entire crystal. We can generate the complete lattice by repeatedly moving the unit cell in the direction of its edges by a distance equal to the cell edge. In fact, the crystal may be considered to consist of an infinite number of unit cells. The unit cell in the above crystal lattice